But while we're on the topic, when is there too much representation? And that is a very nuanced question, I know, but at the same time, it's almost as if like the conversation really starts as if things aren't being done. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, yeah, we have a lot of black creators. We have a lot of, LGBTQ creators. We have a lot of, just diverse creators out here, and they're there. But like, at one point, does it? I'm trying to say.
I get what you're saying.
How is it that we are able to boost our creators up into the spotlight without it seeming like they are being
only reached out for
patronized? Because we always do the Black History Month thing. We always do the Pride Month thing.
It has to be a genuine thing, and at this point,
it has to be organic. And how do we get to a point to where we're not pandering?
Hear me, right? I feel like representation isn't too much until it's normalized, because we didn't get our tags and categories and all this until recently.
Weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago.
We didn't get it until recently. And until I don't have to even ask, y'all are like, yeah. So we did this for people of color and black people and Asian American Pacific Islander. We just did it because we were just feeling nice, and here you go. Here's flowers.
So I think
then, because like I like to use my Bumble as an example. I was swiping through Bumble, right? It's only white men. I see white men every day. I see white men everywhere.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And fat, nasty white women, but continue. I just want to throw out my experience too,
Anyways, I only see white men. And I saw a tweet recently. It's like, man, what happened to the white men on shows? Like, do we not buy cars? Do we not barbecue? Do we not? I see you every day. I don't need to see you here, there, everywhere. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Can little, I don't know, Destiny, who is Afro-Latina, be on the screen for like 2 seconds? I would like to see her, not you. So until things are like, them just genuinely doing it, I don't think there's ever going to be a time where it feels like, yeah, that's too much. You're just shoving that down my throat. Until these brands start doing it out of the kindness of their heart because, they know we're human, I don't think that's too much. I don't think there is too much.
Okay.
If you see what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying, and I definitely understand it, but I feel like while I agree with what you're saying, I also disagree, but not the sentiment and the statement itself that you're making. But I think, just like I mentioned earlier, it feels like things are just being thrown in for the sake of being thrown in. Like, hey man, diversity, here you go.
Yeah.
Like with the what was it? I don't know if it's true or not because I didn't really pay attention to it, but I saw it being spread around on Twitter. Like the idea of black Superman, right? Like changing Superman and then making him black, or Batman and making him black, or whoever, right? Like just taking something that already exists, and then for the sake of diversity and making someone feel included, you force it to be something else, and you rewrite the story for something that already exists to be something else. When in reality, it's like, we've got all these other black characters that are great. We've got all these other gay characters that are great. Why can't you just make like the film about that character? Why can't you just include that character in the game or in the story? And I feel like a lot of times what ends up happening is we'll get these games or stories or, comic books, anything, for the sake of representation, they force something to be that it already isn't. And that's when, you get like a lot of uprising for stuff like that.
It makes me... Go ahead.
Like changing when Miles Morales first came out, when they first started talking about a black Spidey, and so many people were heated. Why are you making Peter Parker black? Nobody took the time to read.
Miles,
like, no. This is a whole different Spider-Man.
This is Miles.
And, exactly.
I hear what you're saying, because you know what? It makes me think about that thread that was on Twitter about them replacing gingers, like whole white gingers, with black characters, like black people. And I do agree. Like, if Lil Susan was black or ginger and white, then let Susan be ginger and white. Or Amber is a good example.
Yes.
You know, they were already established. You just didn't have to do this. But then we'll get argued with there's no black people in Invincible.
Well, that's an already the problem is this. Look, when these IPs and these licenses go out, they're already established characters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if Amber was already white or a ginger, she didn't need
to be black.
She didn't need to be black.
Exactly.
She didn't need to be black.
There's nothing wrong with these companies adding in characters. You know,
I
would
would disagree with that. I would disagree with that because Hollywood always takes that extra step. They always take that extra step to change something from the source material. I love like the purest shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna have the Dragon Ball license, I don't want to see Goku as a black man. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I want to see, you know, the shit play out like I read it. The shit play out like I seen it on TV and just in a more, you know, Hollywood aesthetic, you know?
Now you can make like adding a black Saiyan. Like, granted, we got Oob, and we never got anything about Oob after that.
Make it,
you know?
Exactly. Where's Oob?
Like, give Oob his entire fucking story, start a whole different series, call it Dragon Ball Oob. I don't care. But like,
I'm not okay. So here's what I mean. Like when I say add them in, right? I'm thinking we already got, like, let's say we go through the Batman saga. Everything is out there established. Let's imagine there's no black characters in Batman. Just hypothetically, you know, we already have an origin story. Yeah, let's start a new series. But what's the series gonna be about? I don't know. But let's add these characters. Let's do this. Let's add a black Catwoman. Ain't nobody seen that yet. Right? I mean, they have, but you know, there's nothing wrong with that. If there's something already established and done and everybody knows the base story, you know. Now I feel like we can't do that with like Invincible, you know, because don't nobody know that story yet unless you read the comic.
Well, so I get where you're going and I agree with you on that. And I was actually going to mention that Batman in particular, it's funny that you mentioned that, actually did have a situation where the writers were like, yo, let's just make black characters, and they did it. And that's why we have like two different black Batmans that
we have
they're not
Lucius
Batman,
and we have
but
Tim.
they're Batmans. yeah. You know, he added diversity into the Bat family. Batwoman is gay. Batgirl had a huge bi moment for a long time. Cassie is gay. Like there's a lot of things
Harley
about
Quinn.
Yeah, you know,
like,
Harley Quinn turned gay out of nowhere.
Wrong with like adding those things in later. You know,
yeah.
It's okay.
But
like
in Invincible's case,
new
I
continuity
don't think that it works. Yeah, because like Invincible is already established. So even though like even if you didn't read the comics or whatever, the fact that it's there's no continuation of it. Right. You know, like we don't get a different writer to make Invincible again. It's like Batman. You know, we have for comics in particular, there's always a new writer, right? So
there's always a new universe
that made it. Right, and you know that series goes on.
Things like, unfortunately, it's not gonna work for like Invincible. Sucks to suck, but like you know, I don't know.
Like
Harry Potter.
I guess if we did it for shows though, shows could work too.
Yeah.
Like, since we're talking about comics,
good luck with having a black person in Harry Potter
stuff. You know,
I know, right? Okay, let's not do Harry Potter. We can't even do Twilight either.
No. We can do CW. Listen, we can do CW. So, Flash, right? The main CW thing that everybody loves was, you know, Barry's white. And so a lot of people don't know that Iris has like there's a black version of Iris in comic books, but they're like, no, Iris is white. They made Iris fucking black, and I fucking love her, bro. Fine. Anyway, so they made Iris black in the Flash CW series, and
that's fine because that's an original series, though.
Right. Yeah. And so Flash as a character is still there, but like they didn't really change Iris to the point where she's not Iris, and they actually included her in the Flash's life because in the comic books, Iris ain't around like that. You know, like she might get kidnapped, he go save her, or the house might be blowing up and he go run super fast in time to save her, whatever, something like that, you know. But she not in his life to the point where all these decisions that he's making about being a hero at a young age is influenced by her. So people don't like the CW show because the whole lovey-dovey thing between Iris and Flash, and I get it. But because of that, Iris is now black in the comics from Flash. Like that change created such a big thing. And then now with Batwoman, right? Batwoman, we had Ruby Rose, I think is her name. And so Batwoman's already gay. And you know, it's fine, yada yada, whatever. She quit she was like, I don't want to do it anymore. They didn't really disclose why. She didn't talk about why. It's just kind of like whatever. And so they're like, all right, we kind of can't replace Ruby Rose. Like, you can't make a new white woman Batwoman. And you know, season 1 is already Ruby Rose. Like, whatever.
I mean, you
could, but the story would be all kinds of fucked up because like,
look, so I have to take an emergency leave. It's up to you.
It makes it a little weird in situations like that, you know?
Yeah.
But the better scenario, and I like this a lot. I want to finish the Batwoman now because of this, but they got a black woman and they were like, yo, completely original CW story. You're black. You're Batwoman now. And she's not called the Black Batwoman. She is just Batwoman and just happens to be black, you know? And so they even make some things in like the first couple episodes where, because like, spoiler for anybody that watches it, but it's like a mild thing, whatever. She doesn't like attain the suit. It's not given to her, you know, by Alfred or something like that. She finds it because the way that they write off Ruby Rose's character is that she dies in a plane explosion, and then the suit, because it's you know, made to not be destroyed, basically, is in a suitcase lying on the ground next to where this woman is.
She should have had that suit on.
Yeah, she should have had it on, but she didn't, you know? And so they're like, yo, you know, Kate or Kat, whatever, Kate, yeah, she can't be dead, yada, yada. And you don't see her all of season 1 because she's not coming back. And so the black woman is Batwoman. And now we're at a point, which we knew it was going to happen, but they made him Batwing. And so the black guy who's been, you know, Lucius Fox's son, basically, has been running the show for Batwoman with Ruby Rose and the new black woman. And he's, you know, like, he's their tech guy. So he's like, do this, do that. You know, the suit can't handle this. The Batmobile does this, like, blah, blah, blah.
Oracle.
Yeah. He's like Oracle before, you know, she was a thing. Or I guess after Oracle, he's like, you know, their version of Oracle. Yeah. But now he's being introduced as Batwing for season 2. And Batwing is already an established black character within the comic book universe. And so now they're just like filling that role for him.
Yes.
And so now you have 2 black Bat stars in the Bat family on the main television series, and it's like, that's great. That's the proper representation that like I would like.
They did that right.
It fits. Yeah, it fits.
They did it right. And another example of what they did right was with, you know, Captain America, and they made Captain America not only Steve Rogers' name, it was a mantle. Like Captain America is a title now, obviously, because you know, Captain. But the way that the transition happened, it was so smooth, it was so good, and it made me proud to, you know, like Captain America and you know, cheer on, you know, was it Sam? What's his name? Anthony Mackie. Yeah. Be like, finally.
Every time I hear that, just imagine the.
Yeah. Yo, that nigga's smile is legendary,
smile, bro. It's so deep.
But no, that's what I'm talking about. Do it with taste, do it with respect, do it with tact and class, you know. It's there's just ways to do the shit, because like I said, if you force it in, it's just gonna look like pandering. It's gonna look like what they call what do they call it, queer baiting. How when they try to, you know, force I guess 2 androgynistic people together, and it's kind of like a will they won't they type situation, but you know like the character's actually hetero, and it's just like, don't do that. That's not the proper way to do shit. Not today. So when representation is absolutely necessary, it should be done in a way where it introduces a character, not replaces a character. Like the black Superman who's Kal-El, that doesn't make any sense. Why? For what reason? For what reason is Kal-El ever black?
There's a black Superman, but
there's a black Kryptonian.
Yeah, there we go.
There's a black Kryptonian, and he's got his own story. Why not do that story? That story's interesting as fuck.
It's because they don't really know but the majority of people are like, you know, who's this guy? Blah, blah, blah. It's a random person they made up.
These days, that's not even, bro. Like, you know how many people didn't know of Guardians of the Galaxy and how successful that is today?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's no reason in 2021 to play shit safe like that. Like once you bring new shit to the table, people will gravitate towards it. That's just natural.
It's just new. People
Because
love
it's
new shit.
new. Like, yeah, the generation today really loves new shit. They're not afraid of change. They want change more than anything. So why not give people the change that they want?
It's
It just doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense.
They old and funky and gray haired and white. That's what it is. That's who's running these gaming companies. Okay, maybe not some of them, because some of them, I'm not gonna say that, but they old farts. They ain't got no life, barely getting coochie, and they're like, I gotta work hard. You know, this next game gotta come out, or this next movie gotta come out, or something. But we gotta stick by the book. And I just don't get that shit.
Yeah, we can't. We gotta throw the fucking book out for real. Like,
honestly, throw out these rules, some of these laws. Just throw it away.
Yes.